Hey everyone, it's Paul Xavier here, and today I have a special guest with me. It's Peggy from our Next Level Creators program. She's one of our students. She's been with us for a little over a month, and you said it was a month and a week, you think, Peggy?
About a month and a week.
So very short period of time, and her business has already seen a massive change, along with a massive change in mindset, in focus, and in what she believes her value is and what she's able to deliver to her clients by offering commercial campaigns. So I'm really excited to talk to her, to learn about what's happened in her business so far and in her personal life. And so, Peggy, to get started here today, I want to ask, what made you want to start and build your own video production business?
So before, I went to school to study teaching and geology. I was a scientist, and I moved. I was in North Carolina. I moved from North Carolina back up to New York to. This is my dream since I was a child, was to be a teacher, and I've always been good at working with kids and everything. And I came back up here, and I started teaching in the public school system. There, I love working with kids. I love working with kids. However, there was a lot of problems within the structure of the school system that didn't work for me, and it wasn't just like on a philosophy level, but like physically, I just felt like I was running myself ragged, and it was really difficult for me to maintain my energy levels, and I felt like I just wasn't being used to my full potential, and I'm also not great at work. I'm not like, you know, bad at working under somebody, but I like the freedom of being able to like be my own boss, and felt very motivated to do something about that. I've wanted to start my own school. I've wanted to do a lot of different things looking towards the future. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, there's just no way I could do that and like achieve those goals with the salary that I'm making and the like, and just like the energy that the profession was sucking out of me. And so I have always been a very creative person. I've been into photography for a very long time, and also filming, but not very professionally. I just was interested in it, and I have a good eye for things, and I like telling stories. So I picked up a camera and I said, let's see if I can try it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we could do. And I started doing some cheap and free work for a couple businesses in the area, entrepreneurial people, small businesses, fitness, restaurants, bookstores, things like that. And I was getting a lot of great feedback, but as Paul talks about in the program, it was a lose win for me. I was losing because I was not making enough money. And it was fine in the beginning. I was learning and I was figuring out if this was something that I wanted to do. And after a while, it started to feel like, okay, this is not, if this is something that I really want to do, I can't be making, less than 1,000 a month doing it, or else I'm not gonna be able to feed myself. So, or
Yeah.
my apartment. So, I, uh, I knew I wanted to do it. I knew I wanted to do video production. Started my own business, uh, which I'm going to be signing the papers on for LLCing this week. So everything kind of coming very quickly, but I knew I wanted to do it, but I wasn't sure before being introduced to your program how I was going to go about it. There's a lot of like to go on YouTube and do a lot of research and try and like pave your own way and figure it out. But I was definitely looking for a program or at least a community of people that could help me get to where I didn't even really know at that point what it looked like. But I was definitely looking for something to help me get on my feet and kind of hit the ground running.
Awesome. And so, you said you were making just like $1,000 a month. So, I mean, this is a pretty common thing, right? I mean, you have a dream, you want to do it, you're super passionate about it, you love video, you love creativity, and you moved to Brooklyn, New York, of all places, right? Just the creative capital in a sense. And you're following that dream, and you're making just not a lot of money. right? You're struggling on the financial side. The economics aren't there. Tell me about what an average deal or what an average client was like. I mean, are they just friends, people who couldn't afford you, didn't see the value? What was that? What was the type of business you were running back
It,
then?
it was kind of like the lowest hanging fruit, friends of friends or businesses just in my general area. Sometimes it was just, it was anything I could grab. It was anything
Yeah.
that was close to me, anything that gave me an opportunity to practice and keep, honing my skills. I was interested in doing, which to an extent at the time, like I said, was fine. It wasn't that long ago. It was fine for me as I was learning, but it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah. And so this short period of time, because you joined a month and a half ago or a month and a week ago at this point,
Yeah.
you're making $1,000 a month, doing a ton of different jobs, kind of the low hanging fruit. Where are you today?
So I just within the last 2 weeks have secured two commercial campaign clients. And I got my first two production and setup fees, which is now the most I've made probably within the last 2 years in a month, $3,500, which is still so far from where I know this can go and know where I can take it, but such like in terms of like scaling, just seeing what I can accomplish and what I have accomplished with the program in such a short period of time is outstanding in my humble opinion. I'm sure in your humble opinion as well. And ongoing management close to around 3,500 as well.
So, just so everyone knows, the economics of a commercial campaign, they're really simple, right? You have to go and produce a commercial. So we do charge for that, right? It's going and producing. And that she made 3,500 in her first month and a half of just in production fees. So that's she was making 1,000 in production. Now she's already up to 3,500 just right there. Then on an ongoing basis, we help people with management of those commercials, distributing them, getting the word out, getting the eyeballs to see the commercials we're producing so we can turn those commercials into value for our clients. She's got a recurring 3,500 there in her business already, only a month and a half in. So next month, she's going to make 3,500. The month after that, 3,500. And from what you were telling me before we jumped into this interview is that you actually think they're going to go up. You think one of your clients is going to be a lot bigger than they are.
Yeah, and it's been nothing but a value shift for me, like a shift of before I was like making videos, doing the creatives because that was what I was interested in, and in my mind it's like, well, what's the purpose of creating a video if it's not doing anything for the person's business, or like if it's not being marketed properly. And there's the businesses that I was working with before, when I suggested this, there was a lot of ego wrapped up in that. People would say things like, um, "So you don't think like I'm marketing properly now, or it's not something that I'm interested in because of the price and blah blah blah." And um, it's just that was okay. Like if somebody had told me that before, if somebody said I don't want your services because of the price or because of blah 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 blah, it would have been like devastating and heart wrenching for me. But because now the the potential value of what I can provide for people is so high. It's like, okay, no problem. It's not a big deal anymore for me. It's not an issue because I know that the business that does get to work with me and does get to do a commercial campaign will see such astronomical change within their business that they're the lucky ones, and it's not it's a role reversal almost.
Yeah.
Not feeling that way, that insecurity anymore.
And that's the win-win mindset. We talk about that a lot in week one when we first get started. It's how do we create those relationships that grow together? And it's never going to grow together if you're trying to extract all the value from the client. Just get paid a ton of money and then give them something that they don't know how to use and don't use properly. And that's
Right.
the traditional video production model pretty much today, unless people know how to distribute and do everything else. And then The other way is like, well, if these business owners who are really successful come and just extract the value from you, you know, make you pay you nothing, well, they're not going to get your best work. You're not really going to care about them. And also, the only real way to have success is to create that win-win relationship where if the client grows, you grow too, right? And if you grow, the client grows. And that sounds like one of the biggest things that you kind of took away so far, moving really quickly, of course, through the program and through everything you've learned. What else has been a really big takeaway for you? What have been the big milestones or things you've had to work through?
Big milestones. Um, it's just going to keep coming back to the mindset and to how it's just shifted so much for me. Um, I'm I've always been a giving person. Like I've always been the kind of person that wants to do more for other people than I get in return. And I realized over the last couple of months that it doesn't need it in order for me to give the best of myself. I need to also be receiving the best from others, or at least what I would, if we're talking financially, for me, would to receive the financial stability from those people to really believe in what they're doing, believe in their business, and believe in what I can do for them. And that I think has just totally that part of it for me, the mentality aspect has completely shifted for me. I want to provide people with the best work that I can do, because there's just that equality in value. And there was another one I was thinking of. Hold on, let me think. Yeah, I just feel like I'm not I'm not pandering anymore. I feel like I've established something that's really long lasting. And uh, it has also allowed me, this is what it was, it also has allowed me to, I would say a milestone for me is yes, I love video production. I love helping businesses, but the true passion comes from helping other people tell their stories.
Yeah.
And now that I have this stable income, it's easy for me to also help other people, like people who can't necessarily don't want uh, Facebook campaigns, or are smaller businesses, friends of mine, people that I care about. Like that's me. I am the person that wants to spread the wealth. Like I do best when I'm making money. I want to give the money to somebody else, like that, and the value too. When I have value, I want to like share it. So now that I have more state, and that's only going to be increasing over the next year, which I'm hoping to get to 10K. I'm planning to get to. Let me change that.
There we
Planning to
go.
get to 10K a month. Um, I'm working to getting to 10K a month. That it's allowing me the freedom and the opportunities to also do the projects that I love to do, which is helping friends, and helping people to get the word out about their smaller business, or their endeavors and things like that of that nature. That's been huge.
Yeah, that's great. You get to be charitable then. That's wonderful. And so, big mindset shifts leading to big impact. And I always said that, and I feel like many people, I remember we had an Instagram exchange a little while ago where you were asking me, Paul, should I separate my business from my personal life? Should I keep my personal and my business together? I feel like there's such different sides of me and people even that have to be stable for that. I'm curious, like you've now merged the two,
Yeah,
right?
for
You've put business and personal together. Can you explain why and what that's meant for you so far?
It's actually really funny because I see online like all of these biz dev people and all of these like marketing people are just like, don't do it. Don't put your business and your personal life together. Like it's not going to work, blah, blah, blah. And I just like laugh at that now because it's not about the likes. It's not about the comments. It's not about any of that. It's about what you can provide and the value that you bring to your audience. And like, I I'm not right at this moment like doing any marketing through my personal Instagram or my personal social channels. And by the way, I already have gotten 2 clients from that, but from not having to do any marketing. But you know, it's it's a no-brainer for me because my where we live in a time right now where everything is interconnected. You know, at your you we social media has exposed everybody. We are our businesses. We
Yeah.
are the face of our businesses now. And so it wouldn't make sense. You know, I do have another account that I use, kind of a little bit more curated on Instagram, but in terms of, you know, merging the two, it just seemed it is the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do because these two things are they coexist. Your business and your life are the same thing, especially if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you're, you know, self-employed, self-made. Um, they're the same, and
Yeah.
I feel very passionate about sharing my the progress. The process is big for me. You know, I feel passionate about people seeing that what am I doing every day? Oh, I'm working on my business every day. Like this is
Yeah.
what my life and my business are the same thing. I can't separate them. So I think that that's been for me. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good about being able to combine the two. And you know, if people don't like it, they cannot follow me.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. And
Yeah,
and one of the things, entrepreneurs, we share such a common bond, right? If you're a creative entrepreneur who's watching this and listening to this, a video producer, if you run $1 million business all the way down to a business that's making $1,000 a month and you're trying to figure out how to get to the next level, right? As entrepreneurs, the thing that we all share is our attention is focused on our business. And a lot of people, there's all those things like people, they cut the weekends out. Entrepreneurs, we don't have weekends. Our brains are always ticking on what's the next idea. Where do we go from here? How do we improve? How do we make it better? How do we create something different? How do we create something that makes a better impact? So I commend you for having the courage and being willing to move forward in that direction where you do be more vulnerable and you put your name on something, because as an entrepreneur, right, I think a lot of people hide behind brands.
right.
Like, right, you'll create a brand because if it fails, it doesn't mean that much because that was XYZ Productions rather than, you know, Paul Xavier Productions or Peggy's, right? When you put your name on something, it's a stamp and that is you. So to have that courage to be able to do that and know that, hey, this is a process. It's not going to be perfect when I first launch, but it's going to keep getting better and better and better as I get better and better and better. That's the key.
It's
Owning that.
it's mindset. It all comes down to like what do you like people that I've seen it happen. Like people are starting their own businesses because they want the freedom and they want, you know, X, Y, and Z and they want to be their own boss, but they don't believe in themselves. Like they don't believe that they can accomplish these grandiose ideas of what they think their lives should look like. And it fails. It fails for people because the mindset's not there. And
Yeah.
that's been, you know, with the commercial campaign, like without the commercial campaign, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm still going to make it work. It would have taken a lot, like I would say probably 3 to 5 years as opposed to a month and a half for me to have done it. But there's that just deeply ingrained belief that we have that I think is just so crucial to making it happen. You got to believe in yourself, and through believing in yourself, believing in your business, and looking and finding. You know, when I was talking about the ad that I saw for your program, Next Level Creators, and it was like you were speaking to me. You know, it was like everything is like this is what I want, this is what I need, this is exactly what I need, this is exactly what I've been looking for, and to take that leap of faith to get on the call to to say take all my money, yes, give me this program, like I need this to make something happen for me. I think a lot of people who even if your ad had spoken to them, probably look at that and say, nah, either because they're not ready to make that jump, or they just don't believe that they're worthy of it. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of reasons, but yeah, it's been huge.
And this is something that I think is really important because I've seen some of your Instagram stories. I've seen you at the gym. I've seen you working out. I mean, you're just a go-getter. You're extroverted. You love it. I mean, you're having a lot of fun. There are a lot of people who aren't like that, who don't have the confidence that you have in yourself. And you've got a lot of it. It's a great thing. It's going to help you tremendously over the next few years. I can already see it. And you're right. Right? A lot of people, they sit there, they look at things and they say, that's not me. They put themselves into these buckets. Me, not me. Not me is someone who bets on themselves, who has confidence, who knows if they buy a treadmill, they're going to get on it and they're going to run, right? There's a lot of people who don't have that confidence in themselves.
Right.
And that's the most important thing I found in the beginning of a business, in the beginning of an entrepreneur who's going to become successful. It's that moment of decision where they say, you know what? If I'm shown what to do, nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to do it.
Exactly.
And you had that. I remember the light bulb going off in your head when we were first talking. And you said to me, yes, Paul, if I knew exactly what to do, I trust myself to do the work. And a month and a half later, you've done the work, which is incredible.
Yeah, huge. Absolutely huge. And having the community has been so big for me, and I think it's really big. I mean, it was like a teary moment for me when there was somebody recently who said in the community, I bought this program. I haven't done the work, and I'm here to tell you that I'm going to try again. Had the courage to post in the community that, like, they bought the program, it wasn't working for them, and then seeing all of the success of people, and people interacting with each other and getting advice from each other, and then them saying, you know what, I got to do something about it's me, it's not the program, it's me. I have to change, I have to make it work for myself. And that takes a lot, and to me, like, you could have failed. I mean, entrepreneurship is just constant failing. I mean, it's constant failing, and you're just failing, but you're still, like, moving upwards, because you're learning and because you're changing and because you know that you can do it. And so, like, that to me, like, even if he technically failed his first go at it, he's still successful, or she, I don't remember, but they're still successful in my eyes, because they have the humility to admit that, didn't go right the first time. I'm ready to try again.
Yeah. And it's that commitment. Once again, it's going back to that decisive moment where they say, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to commit. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do this. I know what to do. It's here. I've just got to do it. So for you, where do you see things going? We're only a month and a half into working together. We've got a long way to go here. You want to get to 10K a month in the next year, pushing really hard, as I know you will. Where are we going to take this business?
So, I'm, like I said, I'm super passionate about storytelling. I'm super passionate about the creatives. I'm just, like, such an ideas person, and being able to capture those, I think, is huge for me. So my intention short term, within the next few months, is to really just provide astronomical amounts of value for my clients, and let my work speak for me. And from that, I feel within the next year, having that foundation to kind of, like, this is what I've done, this is what I can do, is just going to propel me to that 10. I mean, there's just no way it couldn't. What I'm providing and what I'm giving is so necessary at this point for businesses of all varieties. However, that's another goal of mine, is niching down. But I just don't see how it could not be successful, even through the failures, even through the obstacles, even through all of the day to day and the micro. It's going to be a lot of just hard work, a lot of creativity, um, hard creativity, doing the work, uh, execution. Um, the process for me is just is the takeaway. It's
Yeah.
doing every, I have the number on it. I have the 10K a month, and I'm very, very confident that I'm going to get to that. But to me, like, the success comes from the process of doing and trying, and like being different from other businesses, and positioning myself with just like astronomical value for people. And yeah, yeah.
So tripling your business once again. We're at 3,500. We're going to go to 10K, right? We already tripled your business in a month and a half. And over the next 12, we're going to provide astronomical results. Get really focused on them, those clients. Just crush it for them. Get to 10,000 a month, and from there, that's going to give us the foundation to get to that next level for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
And so, Peggy, I'm excited to help you get there. I'm excited to help you go through that next leap. What would you say to someone who is on the fence or considering joining the Next Level Creators program, who just, they're maybe thinking, you know what, I don't have the confidence that Peggy has in herself, or I don't know if I can do it. What would you say to someone who's in that place right now?
I am such, as much as we've been talking about like the philosophical stuff and the mindset stuff, I am just at the end. I'm a Taurus. I don't know if you do astrology, but I'm a Taurus. May 20th is my birthday. I am so practical. I don't like the fluffy stuff. It's just like, oh, I don't believe in myself. Oh, I'm not confident. All right, fair enough. But let's talk about like the pluses and the minuses. Like, if you're unhappy with where you are now, you have to be okay with staying in that place. Like, you have to really just respect the fact that if you're unhappy but are too afraid to like join the Next Level Creators, or too afraid to like do the work and like figure it out on your own, those are your only two other options, by the way. If you're too afraid to do those things, respect that you're going to stay where you are. Respect that things are not going to change. Respect that like nothing and nobody is going to hand this to you. Like, you have to go get it. There's literally no other way to go about it. So it's just like, what are you waiting for? I don't, to me, it was just a no brainer. I was there. I was ready. I was looking for it. And it was like a gift from God. Like, this is exactly what I need. And to let fear and doubt like keep you from reaching your goals and obtaining like your dreams, like, that's silly to me. That's like a silly thing.
I couldn't agree more. Well, Peggy, thank you so much for sharing your story with all of us, and of course sharing. And I'm incredibly excited for where you've gotten in such a short amount of time and where you're going to go. And when we think about it, really a year isn't a long amount of time either. It's very short. They fly by these days for us. So I'm excited. We'll do another one of these interviews in a couple of years, and we'll catch back up then and see really what a business tycoon you're turning into.
Can't wait.
All right, Peggy, thank you so much.
Thanks, Paul.